Hey, here's a question from Rand. He wants to know why Filmora doesn't have an export setting of 9:16. Now, I think he's got a typo here. He's saying 2160 by 3480. What he means is 38 by 40. It turns out that 34 by 80 is a taller image and not quite as wide. I'm going to go with the assumption that Rand meant true portrait mode and not his custom setting. His custom setting was like this. What he specified would have given you an 18 by 29 versus a true custom set portrait, which would be 9:16. I think that's what he's talking about. Okay, so what Grant is saying is that when Filmora starts up, the default setting is widescreen or landscape mode. And when he drops something on the timeline, he goes ahead and clicks match media because it's a portrait, not landscape. So now he has a high resolution portrait and he wants to export that project in that setting. Now, the default setting here on export is actually to match project settings. So it would naturally give him that portrait setting. But what he's referring to is this drop-down list, which has a number of presets. And those presets are basically landscape mode. You'll see that the taller number is in the front as opposed to the shorter number. So the first is the width and the second number is the height. And he's saying, why isn't it reversed? I think that's pretty much irrelevant since you just simply match project settings and that will automatically give you the shorter number before the longer number, or in other words, a portrait mode. So I think that's what he's missing. Now, that being said, let's say, for instance, that he truly meant that it was a 34 by 80 and not 38 by 40. You can go down and choose the custom setting. And the custom setting, he could type in 34 by 80 and then the 2160. So you can actually export in any aspect ratio that you choose. You do not have to use any of the presets. And when you do that and you load it back up, you will, into Filmora, and check the properties, you will actually see that you've got this strange setting. In fact, I did export one, and let me just try and import that media. And this one right here, and here I used his incorrect settings, 34 by 80. If you right click on it and go to properties, you can see right here that it's a 2160 by 3480. In other words, it is that very custom setting that he mentions within his text. So you can do both. You can either just match the media, and that should give you this aspect ratio here. In fact, let's just try that. Let's take this off, and let's take this 34 by 80. And we can see that the project setting is true portrait, but here we have one that's not a true portrait, but we're going to choose that aspect ratio. We have now changed it, and you can see that because of its weird settings, we get these little black lines here. But when we go to export and we go to match settings, actually it comes up custom here. We can do match settings, 2160 by 3480. Now we can see that we have the very settings that he's talking about just by choosing match project settings. We don't have to actually type anything in. So anyway, that's how you do it. I think it's all there. Just because it's not mentioned here in the drop-down list, not every aspect ratio is mentioned. It's not necessary because you do match project settings. you're going to get exactly what you want.